Well, live from the Emerald City in Seattle, Washington, the UFO, Bigfoot, and paranormal hotspot of the world. Actually, the Pacific Northwest, at least. Directly coming to you around the world, my friends, this is Spaced Out Sunday. Welcome to the show. I am your host, Michael W. Hall, the paranormal lawyer, occupying the captain's chair tonight for SOR headquarters. We welcome you to tonight's show, including all of our listeners on the digital side at Revolution Radio. And don't forget, you can always find our archive shows for free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Just do us all a favor and hit that subscribe button. Our website is spacedoutradio.com, where we have a plethora of features for you, including rocking out to some Bumblefoot, shopping at our Spaced Out Radio store, and catching up on Captain Shirk's SOR Newswire, and so much more. Tonight's show is brought to you by Chive Charities. Help make the world 10% happier by donating to Chive Charities today. You can find them on our website. And tonight, my special guest for the show on Spaced Out Sunday is Dina Rae, author, conspiracy theorist par excellence, and we are going to get into everything tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. But of course, before we do that, we are going to introduce our good old buddy Peter Davenport from the National UFO Reporting Center and bring him on for some brand new sighting reports that have been happening and coming into the National UFO Reporting Center. So first of all, let me do this. Let me see if Peter is on the line. Are you there, Peter?
I am here. How's my audio, Michael?
Oh, wonderful. You're doing just great. And Dina, are you on the line as well?
I'm here. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm really excited for tonight's show. And I'm always excited as well when I get a chance to introduce my my guests that might not have actually met Peter Davenport. And so it's really fun for me to do that. Peter, I want you to meet Dina Rae.
Hello, Dina.
Hi, Peter. It's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure to meet you. And Michael says you've got all sorts of fascinating stories to share with us tonight.
I sure hope so.
Oh, there's plenty of stories out there. And Dina is in the thick of things as well. So this is going to be a fun evening tonight. And, of course, here we are again. What is this? August 2nd already, 2020. Can you imagine that, folks? Time is just marching forward whether we want it to or not. Summer is right in the midst of us. And literally it is 80 degrees plus here in the Seattle area, which is amazing for us. And, Peter, I know you must be just steaming out there in eastern Washington.
Yeah, we've had several very hot days in the 90s or 100s. That's not unheard of, but that many days at that temperature is unusual for this neck of the woods.
It is. And of course, Dina is laughing at us being from Texas. She's going, what?
A cold front for her.
90 degrees is nothing, I'm sure. Tell us a little bit about what part of Texas you're from there, Dina.
I'm from Dallas. I'm originally from Chicago. Moved down here about 8 years ago. And I'm still not used to the heat, though. I'm laughing, but I am still not used to the heat. We've been in the low 90s for the last couple days, and everyone is so thrilled because that's, could practically wear jeans and a sweater. It's so nice out. And
that's incredible. Yeah, I can understand. I mean, my gosh, 90 degrees out there is probably a good day. So, oh man, well, this is great. We can't complain, I suppose, because obviously we've got lots of things to deal with as far as weather goes on the Florida coast and all that stuff as well. Well, Peter, gosh, the floor is yours here. Dina and I are going to sit back and relax and listen to what you've got coming into the National UFO Reporting Center lately.
Well, thank you, and I look forward to the reaction of both of you to some of these reports. The first report I'd like to share, and we have very good video for, is a report from Lakeview, Ohio, which is northwest of Columbus, straight north of Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. This comes from the 18th of July, Saturday that was, 2 weeks ago. And the gentleman writes that he saw, and I'm sure he did because he provides very high quality video coverage for it. He and his wife saw a very bright light in the western sky. This all took place about 11:15 p.m. local time in Lakeview, Ohio. Their attention was drawn to the western sky by a very bright light. Not only was it bright, but it was a peculiar color, like it was blue, like crystal blue headlights. He had the presence of mind to grab a camera, and he got some excellent video. Idea what this object is, Michael. It's very large. I would say 4 or 5 times the size of Jupiter in the eastern sky during the evening hours, and it is almost blindingly bright, even in the video. They witnessed it, he estimates, for about 90 seconds. And I'm remiss in not having the video already posted, but I've been working so hard handling a plethora of cases that I haven't been able to update the homepage, but that will be done in the very near future, in the next several days.
Oh my! Have you actually seen this video yourself yet?
I have it in my computer, and
okay.
I concur with the gentleman's assessment. He said the impression he had was he was looking at burning magnesium, which burns extremely hot, extremely bright. The reason I accept what he says is he points out in his self-description, he says, I've been an amateur astronomer for years and have never seen anything like this before. So we should have that video posted to our website within the next day or two.
Fascinating.
I'm getting a lot of reports like this. Very bright lights. In fact, tonight, I'll jump ahead a ways. Tonight, I received a report from a gentleman. Let's see, I'm scrolling to the report at the end of the stack. He's from Sebago, Maine, and I guess last night at 8:41 p.m. he saw 2 very bright lights, nose to tail, moving across the night sky at 8:41 p.m. He saw them for only about 20 seconds. One very much larger than the space station in appearance. The second one smaller and behind the first, going nose to tail across the sky. They went from the northwest to the eastern sky in about 20 seconds, which is unusually rapid for satellite in low Earth orbit.
Yeah.
And, I'm getting lots of reports like this. It isn't just 1 or 2, it's several dozen a week that are all very similar.
You know, I often humor myself in thinking that maybe there is a big tourist destination Earth here, because we are about ready to get disclosure, and other races want to be around when it happens to see how we handle it. I don't know. I mean, you're right. There's so many things happening so quickly as far as things happening on the planet, and all these reports that are just out of the ordinary. You know, it's not just, slow-moving lights in the sky any longer.
Yeah, you're exactly correct from my vantage point on the events of this planet. One of the types of reports that I've received that is almost shocking to me, people are reporting a red or orange light coming down seemingly out of the night sky, very large, larger than a planet. Some people claim as large as a full moon in the night sky, which is a very prominent object. And the object, more often than not, is seen to stop by the witness. And then, and this is the part that really flabbergasts me, the object splits into 2 or 3 or 4 parts, and usually, not always, but usually, the multiple objects go streaking off in different directions. What could that possibly be? I have no explanation for it. And as you know, Michael, you've heard me flap my lips about these red, orange, and yellow lights that have been reported, not only to the National UFO Reporting Center, but to MUFON as well. I compare notes with other people in MUFON, and they're getting the same types of reports of these colorful lights, sometimes in clusters of dozens or hundreds.
Yeah.
What could they possibly be? I have no explanation for them. And
you know, Dina, I often wonder as well is that, you know, obviously if they have some technology that they can do this with, they wouldn't have to be observed. You know, they wouldn't have to be bright lights. Yeah. They could probably do this and be unknown. What's your opinion on that? It seems to me they're wanting to be seen.
Right. I completely agree. I think it's time for them to make their appearance. Everything's going the way that they want it. They're about ready to make their move, and we're just sitting ducks. The way 2020 has been going, it's so crazy. Now would be the perfect time.
Yeah, I agree. And Peter is just treading water as fast as he can, trying to get all these reports in. Oh man.
Michael, that this year, I am handling 2 to 3 times the number of reports and the amount of work that I was handling just a year ago.
Oh my.
And how I'm able to do it, I'm not sure. One thing I do know, I'm not handling it nearly effectively enough. I could benefit from a team of assistants, but frankly, I don't know what I'd do. Without a facility and without a budget to finance them,
yeah,
I don't know what I would do with volunteers at this stage.
And Dina, you probably know as well, Peter's been doing this for well over 3 decades on his own, answering the phone and making sure these reports get out to the public. So we're going to make a little plea at the end of our little half hour together tonight, Peter, for people to send you some donations of anything just for to help you get through this, because it is getting crazy, I'm sure.
Yeah. I wish I had a team of half a dozen well-trained individuals working with me.
Yeah.
We could put out, 3 to 5 times the amount of information I'm putting out now, and we could do it much more quickly if I had a team of assistants.
Yeah, and maybe the teen team, you know, the younger folks out there that know how to do this, you know, technology well as well. You never know. But I've interrupted you. Go ahead and complete your reports if you want.
Well, I agree with you on your last point. It's time we got some younger people in this game before we old mossbacks and graybacks keel over. I don't know what would happen to the hotline if I were to die tomorrow morning.
Oh my, let's not think of that for sure.
Too important work, too important for that to happen.
Yeah.
Well, the next report I'd like to share comes from the vicinity of Joplin, Missouri. This is from the 26th of July, Michael. Just a week ago tonight, 7 p.m. Missouri time, a young woman who describes herself as a senior academician. I won't go into details lest she be identifiable, but she was driving with 2 adults south on Interstate 49, which goes straight south out of Joplin, Missouri, which is in of course, the southwestern corner of Missouri. And the attention of all 3 of them at about the same instant was drawn to the western sky off to their right as they drove to the south by a very bright strobing light. It was pulsing quite rapidly. And they all 3 looked to the right about the same instant. and they saw a disc or a diamond-shaped craft. It was edge-on, they think, that was flitting into clouds. There were heavy clouds out to the west and storm clouds, and it was alternately appearing in clear areas of the sky between the clouds, and then it would appear to go into the clouds. The interesting thing, according to this woman in her 30s, was that when the object appeared to go into the clouds, it did not illuminate the clouds from the interior.
Oh.
You would expect a lightning bolt or something.
Right.
To do.
Oh, fascinating.
It is a very well composed report, and they saw this object, which was overtaking their vehicle. They witnessed it, they estimate, for 15 minutes. At one point, they were so intrigued by what they were looking at that they stopped their car that they were driving in and all got out and looked at it. But they have no idea what they were looking at.
Yeah.
Very bizarre report.
Well, obviously...
They tried to film it with their iPhone. Excuse me for interrupting, but she adds, I'd like to add a point, they tried to take video of it, but it didn't show up very well in the video.
Yeah. Well, just the fact that it caught all three of their attention so abruptly, obviously shows that it was quite startling to look at that. And then obviously you're saying that the object overtook their vehicle, so it was moving faster. They actually pulled over to the side of the road. You know, these are the kind of cases, Dina, where I always wonder, is there any missing time involved for these folks? Right. You know? Yeah.
Right. That seems to be a common denominator.
Especially when you have people that actually pull over to the side of the road like that. I mean, that's quite dramatic.
Yeah, that's got to be something that's pretty prominent in the nighttime sky to cause a driver to stop on an interstate and pull off to the shoulder.
Yeah.
To get a better view of it.
Okay. Wow, that's fascinating.
Another report I'd like to share happened the same night, just a few hours after the sighting in Joplin. A gentleman who describes himself as a former U.S. Navy fighter pilot, now a pilot with 4,000 hours accumulated time. On the 26th Sunday, last Sunday, the 26th, he and his wife went to a rural section of California, north of Lancaster, to get a good view of the comet Neowise, which was a beautiful sight, by the way. I was out the same night. But they were admiring the night sky, waiting for it to get really dark so the comet would show up clearly, when his wife noticed to the west, against a clear, cloudless sky, there was a triangular or pyramidal-shaped object hovering just above the horizon. And they couldn't figure out what it was, so they broke out their binoculars and looked at it, and they could not determine what it was. It was motionless, it was silent, it had no lights on it, it was backdropped by the lights western sky as the sun set, and they had no idea what it was. Suddenly it started moving, and they could tell that because of its movement relative to the horizon just below it, and then it suddenly disappeared. Shortly thereafter, about 2 minutes later, they became aware, also in the western sky, of a black sphere. I call it a sphere, but the husband says it looked almost hexagonal with 6 sides to it. And it suddenly started moving, and then it started moving very fast. The husband, again a former Navy pilot, fighter pilot, estimated that it was doing at one point 300 knots, or 330 miles an hour about, and it was within 100 feet of the surface, 100 feet of the ground. And by any measure, doing that kind of velocity that close to the ground is, it's perilous potentially. But doing it at night is really unusual when it's almost dark.
Oh, my. Can you imagine the qualified observer that you've gotten this report from, an ex-Navy fighter pilot, just like Commander Fravor, of course, and, having the experience of having been up there and flying at that speed and probably beyond. I think the speed that you're mentioning was probably below Mach 1, sounds like, which would have been 600 miles an hour or so. But it's interesting that he mentioned how fast it was going compared to then this second object that was either following it or, in the same trajectory. That's a pyramid shape and a shape that looks more like some kind of a hexagon. Oh, my. That's fascinating stuff.
Yeah, at some point, the hexagonal-shaped sphere was below the horizon. The horizon is viewed from the position of the two witnesses. So the husband and wife could estimate its distance somewhat accurately. And once you know its distance, you can estimate its size. The husband estimated that it was about the size of a typical American SUV. So it was pretty sizable.
Wow. But that means that it must have been pretty close to be able to determine that from where their position was. That's interesting.
Yeah. That's an very interesting sighting, particularly given the credentials of at least the husband is a former fighter.
Well, you want...
A couple more briefly.
Okay.
Go ahead, Michael.
Well, I'm just, speculating right off the top of my head here. You wonder if some of that stuff, for instance, the hexagonal craft might have been, tech from us chasing some other tech off planet, in the pyramid. You just never know what's going on out there.
Yeah. And I'm getting reports like that on a much more frequent basis than used to be the case. Whether that's because I'm getting more publicity thanks to spaced out programs like Spaced Out Radio, or whether it's because there's an increase in the frequency of these objects making appearances, I don't know, but it certainly seems to me that I'm being inundated with these reports.
Oh, man. Yeah, they're not, like I said, they're not all the same anymore. They're all different in some respects. So, well, I think we got room for one more if you want.
I'd like to talk about one from the 30th of July. Columbus, Ohio, taking us back to Columbus. A gentleman says he was walking back inside and he saw a white light in the western sky. Over the span of just 5 seconds, it went from almost the horizon to directly overhead. He estimates it was not higher than 2 miles high, although that's an estimate, of course. But it radiated white, yellow, and orange light in the sky. He emphasizes that this was not a plane, this was not a helicopter, and not a drone. The total sighting from start to finish, the witness estimates, was 15 seconds, to include 10 or 12 seconds when it hovered directly above him. But after it hovered above him, it suddenly accelerates and vanishes into the night sky. And it's typical of, I mention this case, Michael, because it's typical of many, many reports I'm receiving of unidentified lights. Of course, ufology has been plagued by reports of unidentified lights for the last 73 years. But these are unusual in that they exhibit flight characteristics that cannot be ascribed to any kind of terrestrial aircraft.
Oh my!
So
that is super fast speed, and you wonder again. Here's somebody observing a light that comes from the horizon and then stops directly overhead for a period of time, and you wonder, is there any missing time there? What would cause something to go directly over someone and just hover for a period of time?
Yeah. What are those lights sensing or trying to detect, and what could they possibly be doing to the percipients or the witnesses?
Yeah, exactly. Well, Peter, we're about ready to go to the break at the bottom of the hour, but let's do this. Let's give the hotline phone number and your address for mailing purposes in case people want to send you some stipend here for all your hard work.
If people have had a recent sighting within the last several days, they may call the hotline, area code 206-722-3000. That number again is 206-722-3000. We've had that same number, as you know, Michael, for 46 years.
Yeah.
And our email or our website address for follow-up written reports, just a telephone report is of little use to us. We have to have a follow-up written report, may be submitted by our online report form at ufocenter.com. Our website, again, is ufocenter.com. And we have an online report form there. Our mailing address is P.O. Box 700, Davenport, Washington, 99122. That's National UFO Reporting Center, P.O. Box 700, Davenport, Washington, 99122.
Well, there you go, Peter. Again, thank you so much for this weekly update on what's going on. Things are heating up all over the planet, it sounds like.
Yeah, that's my impression. And if any of our listeners have sightings, please write them down and submit them using our online report form. And we will post them and let the world know about them.
All right, for sure. And, of course, then, Dina, you and I will be talking here very shortly when we come back after the break. So thank you, Peter, again, and we will be back, folks, with Spaced Out Sunday in just a moment.
Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Hey, Spaced Out Radio fans. It's John Resig, founder of the Chive and Chive Charities. Our goal is to make the life of veterans, first responders, and those with rare medical conditions 10% happier. We do this by donating one grant item, ranging from dance to therapy programs to prosthetic limbs, to those who need it most. To contribute to Spaced Out Radio's official charity, head over to chivecharities.org and become a donor today.
I'm feeling a little spicy tonight. What to do?
Why not get Bumblefuck?
4 million Scoville units of pure hard rock. Bumblefoot hot sauces come in 3 flavors. The burning Bumble. Tone it down a bit with Bumblicious and throw the sauce on everything.
Spice it up. Bumble me, baby. Bumblefoot hot sauce. Get it today at kajans.com.
At spacedoutradio.com, we are keeping you up to date on all the news with the SOR Newswire. Captain Shirk leads the team that is bringing you the news of the day and exclusive stories on everything paranormal and supernatural. It's free to read, it's updated daily, and it's right there for you. The SOR Newswire is a one-stop shop for the news of the day. Check it out at spacedoutradio.com today.
Are you looking for great advertising value for your company? Look no further than Spaced Out Radio. We have a multitude of places to get your name out there, including commercial ads during the show, special promotions, and banners on our website. Our audience is proven to support the companies that support our show. We can make your budget work for you. So for more information, please contact us at sales@spacedoutradio.com.
Hey everybody, the SOR Space Travelers is open. For just $5 a month, you can hang out with Dave and our crew privately in our members-only section. With your signing, you'll receive newsletters on what's going on with Spaced Out Radio. You'll have direct contact with the host during the show in our chat, live streaming videos, and a great forum for your posts and more. Become a space traveler now at spacedoutradio.com.
Are you addicted to the woo? Good. Me too. This is Dave Scott, and you can woo it up with me every Monday through Friday, starting at 9:06 Pacific, 12:06 a.m. Eastern, for 3 hours of great entertainment in the subjects you love. UFOs, ghosts, cryptids, intuition. Yes, we hit it all 5 days a week. Look for us at spacedoutradio.com, where together, my friends, we own the night.
You wanted new SOR gear, and now you can have it. The SOR Vault is fully stocked with t-shirts, hats, hoodies, mugs, and everything in between, with great logos for you to choose from. So head on over to spacedoutradio.com, click on the SOR Vault, and go shopping. Pricing is quite affordable, and you can look good representing your favorite show. So go to our website and pick up your new SOR wear at the SOR Vault today.
Need that weekend supernatural fix? Look no further than Spaced Out Saturday right here at spacedoutradio.com. I'm Stacey Edwards.
And I'm John Edwards. Each Saturday night, Stacey and I are going to bring you the best in paranormal, cryptids, UFOs, you name it, and we're going there.
It's all about the experience and to share the knowledge with all of you.
So tune us in every Saturday night on Spaced Out Saturdays, starting at 9:06 p.m. Pacific, 12:06 a.m. Eastern, only at spacedoutradio.com.
From the heartlands of Canada to beards around the world, we know how to take care of you. Fill your follicles with the Mighty Moose Beard Oil. All our oils and balms are handmade and 100% natural ingredients because we care about your beard. And hey, use the promo code SOR2019 and get your Mighty Moose Beard Oil today. You can check us out on our website, mightymoosebeard.com.
We're adding to the entertainment online for Spaced Out Radio. I'm Amber Beckrud, and I want to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out Cryptid Tales, where I will take you on a journey into some of the strangest legends and lore from around the world, relaying the stories to you of the strange creatures and experiences that people have had throughout time. You can find Cryptid Tales at youtube.com/spacedoutradio, and while you're there, don't forget to check out our free archives and leave a comment. See you there.
Cold drinks, great food, and the best music in Vancouver. The Moose Vancouver is the place to be, open until 2 a.m. nightly. Everything on the menu starts at just $6.95. Who serves food that cheap anymore? At the Moose, you'll never know who you'll run into. Rock stars, actors, athletes. It's the place everyone wants to be. So join us at the Moose Vancouver, the official party bar of Spaced Out Radio.
Hello everyone, this is Ryan Stacy from the Experiencer Support Association, otherwise known as TESSA. We're glad to team up with Spaced Out Radio to help investigate your experiences on the SOR Sightlines Report. Together, we'll investigate the strange sightings and occurrences you've had. We're looking for answers just like you. So fill out a Sightlines report on the Spaced Out Radio website and let's figure out what's going on together.
Welcome back to Spaced Out Sunday. Dina Rae has explored some of the details behind what we all see happening around us regarding the so-called New World Order. What do Bill Gates and the WHO, China, George Soros, and many other characters have in common and stand to gain from the changes that will occur as a result of the current pandemic? Before you dutifully get in line to surrender your freedoms, consider all the facts and all of the motivations. Dina lives with her husband, 2 daughters, and 3 dogs outside of Dallas. She is a Christian and avid tennis player, a movie buff, teacher, self-proclaimed expert on several conspiracy theories, and she has been interviewed numerous times on blogs and newspapers and syndicated radio programs. She enjoys reading about religion, UFOs, the New World Order, and government conspiracies, political intrigue, and other cultures. And her Crowns and Cobbles novel is her 8th novel. So we're going to be talking to Dina tonight about all of these things and much, much more on Spaced Out Sunday. So let's get started here. Hello, Dina. Are you back?
I'm here.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for helping me co-host Peter Davenport for that first half hour. It's always interesting to hear about what's going on as we speak around the world.
A great segment. When he was talking about all the sightings, I immediately thought, well, all the crafts are different. So I immediately thought that maybe there are different races of aliens that are patrolling this planet.
Yeah, I've long since believed that. Obviously, you've got, I don't know if they're Model Ts, Model As, and then all of a sudden Ferraris show up. Who knows what the various vehicles are, and how timely is it that just last week on the 23rd, on the 23rd of July anyway, the New York Times came out with that new article through the Department of Defense confirming that the government is in possession of off-worldly craft themselves that they're trying to back engineer. I mean, this stuff is happening all around us, and confirmation seems to be coming from credible sources.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know we're facing an election year, and 4 years ago, Hillary hinted that if she got elected, she would share some of this with us. Well, that didn't happen. And then recently, I saw on a newsread blurb that Donald Trump is tossing that idea around if he gets elected. So
yeah.
And I don't know if these politicians are just saying what we all are dying to know, or are they ready to share?
Oh man, well, it sounds to me, as we were listening to Peter, Dina, and you and I discussed this, that it's almost as if whoever they are out there, these pilots of these craft or whatever, they're not waiting for disclosure. They're just coming and being well known to us willy-nilly. It's almost like I guess they're about ready to do it themselves potentially. Who knows?
Right.
Well, let's find out a little bit about Dina Rae. This is going to be a fun opportunity for me. This is your 8th novel, is that right?
Yes.
And what are the subject matters of most of your writings, so we can get an idea of the genre that you're into?
Okay, well, I'll start at the beginning. My first novel is called The Last Degree, and that is about the Freemasons' influence on our country's inner circle, as well as the world's top inner circle elites. All of my books except for one are fiction, but the research is extensive in each of the books. My second and third book, Halo of the Damned, Halo of the Nephilim, again, fictional, but they are about fallen angels and their influence on the world. We seem to forget about them. When we talk about angels, they're always good. Well, it says right in the Bible that a third of the angels took Satan's side. So
yeah,
and they're not gone yet. So
the heavenly choir director got booted out. I used to be a vice president at Puget Sound Christian College myself. I'm like a faith-based kind of guy that's always thought outside the box. So I am right with you here. This is going to be fun conversation.
Awesome. My fourth book is called Bad Juju, also called Love, Lust, and Revenge, which I changed the title because of publishing issues. Anyway, long story short, it's a young adult book based on a boy's fascination with voodoo. And again, a ton of research about the voodoo religion went into the novel. My fifth book is my nonfiction book. It's called Big Pharma, Big Agra, Big Conspiracy. It is my only nonfiction.
Oh, my.
I am working on another book called More Big Pharma, More Big Agra, More Conspiracy. And again, it was just, it started off with me wondering what kind of influence Big Pharma and Monsanto have on our government. And before you know it, I couldn't believe it, especially that this wasn't hammered on the news every night. It was such a big story to me. So I wrote my own book about it.
Yeah.
And
good.
Then my sixth and seventh books are the sequel and the bestseller and the sequel, and those are both about aliens. They are they're linked. They're part one, part two, and they again fiction, but extensive research on aliens, on Hitler's knowledge about aliens, about World War II and Hitler's stable of scientists who knew a whole lot more than the rest of the world, and it goes into maybe why they knew more than the rest of the world, again with the alien influence.
Bingo.
They had the greatest Air Force program in the world, along with the greatest genetics and several of the greatest other things. And once I really got into the research and found out about some of the crazy stuff that Hitler was involved in, he totally was into aliens. He was a member of Vril Society, had girls conduct seances to aliens, and he was very involved in all of that. And I know your viewers probably watch Ancient Aliens, and they go into a lot of that too. Antarctica is, of course, a big part of the story, and Hollow Earth theory and reptilians and all of it. And then my last book, which came out about a year ago, is called Crowns and Cabals. And it is a fiction, but it is about New World Order and how that would play out.
Oh, fantastic. My gosh, do you run the gamut of conspiracy theories and the paranormal? This is going to be a fun show. Gosh, we can get in it. We can pick one of those subjects and go 3 hours, I'm sure. But we're going to have to get it down to the brass tacks as we talk about these things. Now, how did you actually get to the point in your life, Dina, where you decided that this was going to be your passion? Was this something you brought along as a young child, or did you have a unique, remarkable sighting, or what happened that kind of motivated you in this regard?
I guess quite a few things. I was in college in the early 90s when the first Gulf War was going on, and that's a lot of the first time in history where we had 24-hour news. So we were, being college kids, we'd watch the news for as long as we could, and of course drink to it, and got a big kick out of a war that was going on that we were watching on television. And of course, along with that 24-hour news cycle came loads of conspiracy theories that actually made more sense on why we were there. What George H. Bush was telling us why we were there is one story, and then the conspiracy theories actually made more sense. So with that kept in mind, flash forward to 9/11, and my husband is a fireman, so that is a very near and dear tragedy that happened in this country. So right away, 9/11, once here we are again, and we're not being told the truth. And you know, I could go on about how we knew about it, how we might be in on it, all of it, but that really got the conspiracy juices flowing. And a lot of people really started wondering why we're at war with Saddam Hussein when Osama bin Laden was supposedly responsible for the whole thing, and so forth. And you know all the politics involved at that time. But that really, that whole entire event brought a lot of distrust on what mainstream news channels were talking about. And then again, get back into the aliens. Okay, we're having more and more and more evidence about aliens, about spaceships. Project Blue Book was finally made public. We're having a lot more knowledge than we had in the past, yet we're getting denials after denials after denials from our leaders that they exist. I mean, all of this just kind of compounds. And finally, in 2012, that's when I wrote my first book. Finally, I put pen to paper and made it into an entertaining story about some of the conspiracy theories that I don't think are that crazy. I think they might be true. So it went from there, and you know, I think we've all been can't sleep, and one link leads to another, and another link leads to another, and before you know it, it's like, why isn't this on the front of every paper? Why isn't this the headline of every news show? And there's only one conclusion, that we're not allowed to know the truth. And before we don't have free speech, which is going to happen very soon, I did manage to squeak out 8 novels. And
good for you.
And I don't know if I can, keep writing. I know a lot of people, I don't know if they could keep doing radio programs such as yours. We're all going to have to shut up pretty soon, so we might as well enjoy it while we can.
Yeah, good strategy. I like that. By the way, I understand that you do have a unique writing style in the fact that you like to write pen on paper.
I do. When I first started writing, my kids were small, so I would be taking them to softball or ice skating or the doctor or wherever. Well, while we're waiting or there's downtime or whatnot, it was real easy for me to just get the notebook out of my purse and start writing. And I like to write. I'm also an English teacher, so I like to show my kids the best way that I like to write is in a notebook, and then skip a line between each sentence, so that way you can go back and cross things out and write new things in, and maybe add something that you didn't have the first go round. And then when you type it into the computer, it starts to look kind of pretty, and then you got to do some more revisions with it. But it's a process that I just, when I type real fast, but my brain's going even faster, so a lot of things get missed. But when I handwrite, it seems to slow down and gets all the information on there. Yeah.
So in other words, you find the flow, you find that zone. Basically, the creative part is kind of slowing the brain down for you, right?
Yeah.
That's very interesting, because I've always heard that the access to the creativity that our brains can do are more apt to happen when we can quiet the monkey chatter on the left side of the brain to slow things down a bit. So that makes a lot of sense.
That's so true.
And it's interesting, though, that you are you've got an English degree. You're a teacher as well. My gosh, that is very helpful when you're talking about writing novels and research papers and those kinds of things. Was that something you just gravitated to all the way through school, writing itself?
Well, I always loved to write. It just was something that came easy to me. But when you are in school and you're forced to write a 25 paper, a 50-page paper, and then I got my master's in education. So, I mean, now we're talking 100-page paper. Well, if I can write a 100-page paper about stuff that I'm really not interested in and hand it in, why couldn't I write a 300-page paper essentially about things that I love? So it wasn't too much of a stretch.
Yeah. Oh, I can relate to that, Dina. I mean, I'm a lawyer, have been for over 30 years. Writing those court briefs when you just don't want to write that court brief, and all the citations is just a headache. And like you say, once you get a chance to write what you enjoy and get into that zone, it's just heaven to me. You're right.
Yeah.
Do you have any siblings yourself? What do they think about your abilities?
I am the only child, so I don't have any siblings. I've got two kids and a husband and 3 dogs. That is my immediate family.
Oh, wonderful. Well, if someone ever asked you who would be the influence on you during your growing up years, your mother or your father, as far as looking into these conspiracies, who would that have been, one of your parents?
Definitely my mother. My father really wasn't around. They divorced when I was little, so I don't know him very well, but I would definitely say my mother, and my stepdad, too, I would say had a lot of influence. He, Vietnam vet, of course, bitter about the war, rightfully so. So we certainly didn't agree on a lot of things, but we would spin off of each other on conspiracy theory for sure. And then my husband is a huge avid fan of all of it, and we love Jim Mars. We love ancient aliens. We go on vacations to conspiracy type of places. I mean, we went to Roswell Festival. We've gone to the Stanley Hotel in Colorado, which is where Stephen King was inspired to write The Shining. And we've gone to New Orleans and Savannah. And I mean, if there wasn't COVID-19, we would love nothing more than to go on an ancient alien cruise. So that's our jam.
What a great idea. Loading up the old family wagon with all the paranormal gear that you want to bring along and going on to conspiracy theory vacations. Wouldn't that be interesting? Oh my goodness. I can see it now. I can see matter of fact, I have not seen the new Ghostbusters movie yet, but I can't wait for that younger generation of Ghostbusters to be able to see in that old car as well. That would be fun. Anyway, gosh, this is great. We're getting to the top of the hour. We're going to take our 6-minute break or so at this point, and then we're going to come back with more of Dina Rae and all these wonderful interesting topics that we're going to be talking about tonight on Spaced Out Sunday. So hang on, we will be right back.
Looking for creative ways to get your company out in the public? How about advertising on Spaced Out Radio? Our sales department is waiting to hear from you, and we can work around any budget. From commercial spots to banners to special promotions, there are many opportunities to get your name and product out to our SOR listeners. For a price guide and more information, please contact us at sales@spacedoutradio.com.
If you like it hot, real hot, then heat up your meals with Bumblefoot hot sauce.
Get your Bumblefoot hot sauce today. The sauce, Bumblicious, and the 4 million Scoville unit Bumble. We're going in hot, real hot, coming out even hotter.
Keep the milk nearby and tantalize your taste buds tonight.
Bumblefoot hot sauce, available now at kajans.com.
Get your horns up with me on Spaced Out Radio. This is Ron Bumblefoot Thal. Come tune in to SOR where you can hear me rock out with Little Brother is Watching, the official theme song of Spaced Out Radio. And then come on over to bumblefoot.com where you can find out about my tour schedule, my music, and everything else. Bumblefoot.com keeps you up to date on what I'm doing and the best way to stay in touch with my music and music camps. Sign up for my newsletter at bumblefoot.com and remember, Little Brother is watching.
Visit purpleplates.com today. For over 40 years, the Purple Energy Plates have been delivering amazing results for their many customers. Inspired by the great genius Nikola Tesla, the harmony, healing, and energetic effects of the plates have proven over and over to be beneficial and often miraculous to thousands of customers. Check their site for daily specials and choose from their many energy products. You won't be sorry. Visit them today at purpleplates.com.
The SOR Vault is open for business, and do we have some cool swag for you to pick up? All you have to do is head over to our website and click on the SOR Vault. You have a variety of cool logos to choose from, and put them on anything you want. T-shirts, hoodies, hats, coffee mugs, you name it, we can get it to you. So do your shopping by supporting the store you love. Get your Spaced Out Radio swag at the SOR Vault today.
Hey everyone, I'm John Edwards.
And I'm Stacey Edwards. Together we're taking over Saturday nights on Spaced Out Radio, where we're going to bring our own experiences of the paranormal and talk to the best people we can find to help bring you answers to your strange tales.
We're here to entertain your need for weekend woo! So tune us in at spacedoutradio.com starting at 9:06 Pacific, 12:06 a.m. Eastern, where we can all get a little spooky together.
Spaced Out Saturday nights right here at spacedoutradio.com.
We are scouring the world for the most intriguing stories of your day. Take the time to read up on the SOR Newswire, where our team, led by Captain Shirk, will deliver to you some of the best paranormal and supernatural news, along with some stories that will blow your mind from the weird to the wacky. It's the news outside the news that piques interest, and that's what we're looking to deliver to you. The SOR Newswire, only at spacedoutradio.com.
We all know on Spaced Out Radio we love a good beard and mustache, so why not take care of your facial hair with Mighty Moose Beard Oil? Made in Canada, we're taking care of beards and stashes around the world. We use 100% natural ingredients with our oils and balms to make your whiskers feel silky smooth. Use promo code SOR2019 at mightymoosebeard.com today.
Hi, this is Amber Beckrud, and I want to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel where we store all of the SOR show archives for free. And as an added bonus, every 2 weeks I'm posting brand new content on Cryptid Tales, where I will get into some of the spookier legends and folklore from around the world and tell the stories that go with them. Find us at youtube.com/spacedoutradio and check out Cryptid Tales today. Drop a comment and let me know what you want to hear. See you there.
Are you an experiencer of something strange that can't be explained? Do you want help finding out what's going on? I'm Ryan Stacy, head of the Experiencer Support Association, otherwise known as TESSA. We've teamed up with Spaced Out Radio to investigate cases filled out in the SOR Sightlines report. We are independent and there's no cost to what we do. All we need is your experience. Let's find out what's happening together on the SOR Sightlines report.
Hey, space travelers, this is John Resig, founder of the Chive and Chive Charities. If you know anything about our website, you know we like to do things a little differently. We're not some faceless organization collecting money for a nebulous cause. Our donor dollars go directly toward life-improving items. Then we give those items directly to an underdog who needs it most. To become a donor with Spaced Out Radio's official charity, Chive Charities, just go to chivecharities.org/donate.
For the price of 1 cup of coffee a month, you can become an SOR Space Traveler. The Space Travelers Club is a place where you can interact with other listeners, either live during the show or on our great forum. We want your stories, pictures, comments, and ideas. You'll get live video streams, exclusive content, and be a part of our newsletter. Stay in touch with everything SOR. The Space Travelers Club is just $5 a month at spacedoutradio.com.
Hi there, this is Dave Scott, and I'm bringing you the Woo every Monday through Friday on Spaced Out Radio. I'm going all out to bring you the strangest, oddest stories and subjects I could find for your entertainment. Why? Because when we hit peak Woo, I know I've done my job. So come tune us in at spacedoutradio.com, 9:06 Pacific, 12:06 a.m. Eastern, and together, my friends, we own the night.
Welcome back to hour number 2 of Spaced Out Sunday. I'm your host, Michael W. Hall, the paranormal lawyer. Thanks for joining me. We welcome back everyone listening in our terrestrial affiliates, WQEE 99.1 FM in Noonan, Georgia, and UPRN 107.7 FM in New Orleans. And on the digital side, we are very proud to be on Revolution Radio. And don't forget, you can always check our archives for free at youtube.com/spacedoutradio. Just do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Our website is spacedoutradio.com, where we have a plethora of features for you, including rocking out to some Bumblefoot, shopping at our Spaced Out Radio store, and catching up on Captain Shirk's SOR News Wire, and so much more. So we are back, and Dina Rae is my guest, and we are talking everything conspiratorial. Dina, are you back?
I'm here.
Oh, awesome. You know what? You mentioned something in our introduction to you about how you've written so many unique novels that are based on fact, I believe. That's what you said. And one of the things was you mentioned the fact that the Germans had advanced technology potentially, and were able to, at one point, have some amazing flying capability, underwater capability, by the way, with their submarines as well. I think I'd like to explore that with you, because it sounds like you're pretty knowledgeable in that area.
Yeah, absolutely. They, of course, as already mentioned, they were the best in the world with technology at that time, and when you dig a little deeper, we made a deal with the Germans at the end of the war, Operation Paperclip, and in exchange of some war concessions, they gave us their finest scientists. The most famous was, I think it's pronounced Werner von Braun of the rocket program.
Exactly. We got Werner von Braun, and then the Russians got the other guys that literally did a different rocket system over there as well.
Right.
Yeah, fascinating. You know, my theory has always been, I don't know if you've done this, this research has come across your desk as well. From what I gather, and you mentioned the Vril Society, those women with the long hair. You remember those pictures? I don't know why they all had super beautiful long hair. Maybe it had something to do with their psychic abilities or whatever. But I don't
mean to interrupt, but they said that their hair worked like antennas. When these seances.
Now that makes sense. I'm so glad I brought that up. Because yes, they had this capability of holding seances, and from what I gather, made contact with the Vril, an off-planet society. Is that correct?
Yes, exactly. You definitely know your stuff. And the Vril was actually a fictional term from the coming race by a science fiction writer named Edward Bulwer Lytton, and it was a very famous book about the Vril, which was an energy source, and the Vrilia were the aliens, and they all lived in the globe. This is where you get your hollow Earth theory.
Oh, very interesting.
Right. So Hitler was obviously very familiar with that book. He was very familiar with the alien hook to it, and he was very familiar with these women who would hold alien seances. So yes, he definitely was believed in aliens. There's I don't think anybody could dispute that. In fact, you mentioned submarines. Of course, there's the famous Deke Lock that he financed, where they thought that with they were trying to find anti-gravity amongst rocket pods, and they were using mercury, and a bunch of people died right there on the border of Poland and Germany was their secret experiment with that. But one thing I found the most interesting was this whole operation that he organized, I want to say in the late 1930s, where he brought a bunch of German soldiers all the way to Antarctica. And I think he told the world that they were going there to find whale blubber
wow.
Yeah. I mean, come on. You're in the middle of taking over Europe, and you're gonna take 10-20% of your army and boat them down to Antarctica for whale blubber. It just didn't really make a whole lot of sense. And then right after the war in 1947, who goes to Antarctica but us, United States? So what's in Antarctica?
Yeah.
Again, we're not getting told the truth, and that's basically what the two books are about. Even though they are fictional stories, it goes into all of that.
Right. Well, and that dovetails also, of course, with Admiral Byrd's expedition that literally supposedly got whacked by a bunch of UFOs down there.
Right. He had his journal that disappeared, and all of that, and exactly.
And also that ties in, I think, with the hollow Earth theory as well, that these potential extraterrestrials or interdimensionals, whatever they are actually coming from the core of the Earth as well.
Right. Or that might be their base.
Right. Exactly. As well as, the oceans or whatever, that's going on off of Catalina Island and all that kind of stuff. But, oh my, you can well imagine that. I mean, because I've always wondered, being kind of a minor history buff myself, why would a small country like Germany think that they were bold enough to be able to take over the world, basically, or at least, Europe, during that period of time? What gave them such confidence? And in reality, maybe they were in contact with extraterrestrials who, for some reason, had sided with them at one point, or at least allowed them to have some technology that gave them the impression they could take over that whole part of the world.
Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. And in fact, did a little research. I mean, their words, not mine, but they called themselves the master race. Well, I guess we all want to think we're special, but they're the only ones who would claim that. Well, why? What makes them so special? And just a little bit of digging, and sure enough, one of Hitler's mentors, so to speak, Karl Hochhofer was his name. He ran the Green Dragon Secret Society, and he somehow came up with some, for lack of better words, like an ancestry tree, so to speak, and, found out through the course of history that the German people are descendants from the Aryans, which is, this is not my theory, but the Aryans are from Persia, the Middle East, which, you look at a Persian, they don't really look like a German. I guess they're both white, but the Germans are much lighter. So there must have been some mixing going on. But any route, they claim that they descended from Persia, and they are Aryans because they are spin-off humans from the Atlanteans. And please, I encourage your viewers to Google this. This is definitely gets so crazy to me when I was doing the research. But when you cut to the chase, Hitler believed with all of his heart that he and the German people were descendants of Atlantean aliens. Now, where did he get that? Like you already alluded to, maybe they had some kind of weapon, some kind of object, something. We could talk all day about Atlantis. Plato, the way Plato wrote it out and the way he described it, it was a real place. So maybe, just maybe, Hitler had some kind of object that gave proof to this, which emboldened him. He thought he couldn't lose.
Right. Yeah, the whole idea that indeed Atlantis was so far advanced technology-wise that something happened to destroy basically the continent it was on, or destroy their society as well. But maybe some of that technology survived, the demise of Atlantis as well. Plato and all those guys literally are talking about a real place, a real society, and those kinds of things way back in millennia ago. And of course, there are pretty much every culture on the planet points to some kind of a sky god, that started their entire civilization, the Sumerians, of course, and all those kinds of things. So it's fascinating to me that we all have that kind of background in our history, and the Germans seem to have really gone and run with it.
Right, and they were very successful. You analyze World War II, and we just really got lucky. That's we could call it divine intervention, luck, whatever you want, but that's basically the gist of it.
Yeah, that is an interesting point to take. The idea being that potentially the Germans were given advanced technology to kind of get to the point where they thought that they could take over Europe. And then at one point, what happened? Was there a switch in the plans with whoever is giving them the technology? And they decided, well, wait a minute here. Maybe we did the wrong thing. Now we're going to go to the other side with the atomic bomb, that kind of stuff. Give more tech to the other side. I don't know. That would be very fascinating to find out the details of how we leapfrogged them in technology at the last moment.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. There's interesting corroboration that you're talking about when you talk about the Virile Society women who were doing these seances and having the long hair being beneficial for them. And the fact that I have heard this this theory that the cavalry, the U.S. military, in the pioneer days, the Wild West days, would literally, and even up to the Navajo code talkers, from what I gather during World War II, would employ Native Americans, as an integral part of the communication lines that they would use in the war. And at one point, they found out. This is what I read. They found out that when they took these guys from the reservation, the Navajos and those kind of guys, and they gave them the military haircuts. They had done some psychic research with these folks beforehand to find good trackers, good people with, psi capability. They could actually do the remote viewing better, that kind of thing. But when they cut their hair, they lost that ability. I heard that as well, which seems to correlate with what you're talking about with the women in the Viril Society having very proud long hair.
Very interesting. Very interesting. I know that Maria Orsic was probably the most famous one, and she vanished. Nobody knows what happened to her after the war, and a lot of people, of course, the conspiracy theory about her was that she and some of her friends that were part of this real society, some other women that would do these seances, got into a spaceship and went to another planet.
Wow.
I've never heard that one. She would always pray, I guess, for lack of better terminology. She would pray from Aldebaran to the Alpha Tauri star, which was 64 light years away. Maybe when things got bad in Germany, they came and picked her up. I don't know. Just putting it out there.
Oh yeah, no, that's interesting to think about. So you're telling me that she kind of had pinpointed some constellation or galaxy or star that she would pray to? Is that what she would do?
Yeah, or focus on in her seances. I guess I'm not sure if prayer is the right word, but that was the focus.
Wow, I didn't realize that. That was fascinating to me to think that basically they might be channeling as well, as doing the seances. Of course. At the turn of the century, 1900, 1910 or so, spiritualists, that was a major craze in the United States and around the world to hold seances and supposedly make contact with disembodied spirits and things. But this, of course, is something very unique in the fact that they were supposedly, even admittedly, contacting extraterrestrial forces or races out there.
Well, the Aldebaran, which was the focus of her seances, was supposedly where the Anunnaki were from, which you mentioned earlier. So all of these stories kind of connect after a while. And just another little tidbit of information. She and her friends supposedly, when they prayed or they chanted or whatever term you want to use, they would chant in ancient languages like Aramaic, and they didn't even speak any of that.
Oh, very interesting. Yeah.
This was Sanskrit. They were not educated. They certainly never learned these. It just came to them.
And obviously it was recognized by someone that this was the Sanskrit language or the Aramaic language that they were speaking. Yeah. Oh, I want.
They had a lot of doctors and whatnot in those meetings.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if any of that stuff has been transcribed. In your research, have you ever found out what they were saying in those chantings?
No, I have not.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be interesting to find out what cantations that they used to contact whatever sources that they had, and or whether they even wrote any of that stuff down. Obviously, there were information exchanged, it sounds like, that went up the chain of command with the Germans.
Exactly. This Brill Society was, I'm assuming you probably heard of the Thule Society. That was more well known.
Thule, Thule, like you see those little car top carriers on vehicles nowadays.
I've heard Thule, I've heard Thule. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the Brill was like the elites of the elites. That was these girls and Hitler, of course. Himmler was there. Another one, Schumann was there. Martin Bormann was there. Like Hitler's main guys and these girls. They kind of just they very few people were allowed in on these things. He picked his favorite guys to go, and
yeah. That reminds me, Dina, exactly of the stories I've heard from the Pentagon using remote viewing women. I don't know if you've heard of this story, to contact extraterrestrials, including calling in a craft into the Pentagon to be seen outside the window during this would have been the 50s, 1950s. Yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah. And by the way, I seem to be embroiled. I have been embroiled in the Admiral Wilson smoking gun UFO memo, thing. And in that memo itself, that literally it is supposedly confirmation that the United States has reverse engineering programs for alien crashed craft. There are a couple of remote viewing women mentioned in that memo as well that have been very helpful to the Department of Defense and the Pentagon in contacting alien intelligence. In that memo, that's like, the 2002 interview with Eric Davis talking with Admiral Thomas Ray Wilson about UFOs.
Wow.
So there's like all sorts of confirmations there throughout history, including, right up till today, that literally remote viewers have been used and very successfully, it sounds like, in contacting extra-dimensional, off-world people, societies. I don't know. It's just, I think that's where we're headed at one point. I think, as Jacques Vallée has mentioned, he'd be very surprised if this whole thing, UFO thing, just comes down to people visiting us from other planets. It possibly is extra dimensional as well.
It makes me wonder how much aliens have interfered with our history.
Yeah.
What would Hitler really even have attempted all that he attempted if they had not been involved, assuming that he did have access to them, he did have objects that were made by them? Would he have even bothered?
Yeah, that would make sense to me. Why a small country like Germany would be so confident that they could do this, and pull it off. You're right.
I mean, that's just one example. How I know, not to get away from World War II, but one of the most fascinating stories I've heard in modern day is, our obsession with being in Afghanistan is definitely odd. It's very odd to me that we've been there for 19, 20 years now, and Obama said he was going to bring him home. He didn't. Trump said he was going to bring him home. He didn't. I mean, sure, troops are reduced, but they're still there. And apparently there was this thing, I want to say 2012, 2013, there was a cave, and they supposedly found a Vamana in that cave. And they had 3 military men who were guarding it, and they went inside the cave to get a little closer, and they died. And then they kept, they had Obama went, and Angela Merkel went, a whole bunch of statesmen went to this cave. And it kind of makes me think, well, maybe that's why we're in Afghanistan, because ancient alien technology had been uncovered, and we'll use any excuse that we can think of to stay there to appease the American people. Meanwhile, that's why we're really there. That I'm just throwing it out there.
No, I'm totally with you there, and that also dovetails with what Bob Lazar has said, that there was at least one disc that he said that he was working on, or at least saw, that came from an archaeological dig. That's fascinating stuff. Gosh, we are on a roll here, Dina. We got to go to a commercial right now, but that's going to be a good teaser for us to come back when we do, to jump off to the next version of our show. So we'll be right back, folks, with more Spaced Out Sunday after this.
Cold drinks, great food, and the best music in Vancouver. The Moose Vancouver is the place to be, open until 2 a.m. nightly. Everything on the menu starts at just $6.95. Who serves food that cheap anymore? At the Moose, you'll never know who you'll run into. Rock stars, actors, athletes. It's the place everyone wants to be. So join us at the Moose Vancouver, the official party bar of Spaced Out Radio.
Hey, space travelers, this is John Resig, founder of the Chive and Chive Charities. If you know anything about our website, you know we like to do things a little differently. We're not some faceless organization collecting money for a nebulous cause. Our donor dollars go directly toward life-improving items. Then we give those items directly to an underdog who needs it most. To become a donor with Spaced Out Radio's official charity, Chive Charities, just go to chivecharities.org/donate.
Hello, this is your guitar man, Ron Bumblefoot Thal, and I have to tell you, I love the response I get for Little Brother is Watching from Spaced Out Radio fans. It's amazing how music can inspire and make people think deeper about what's going on in the supernatural world. You can head over to my website, bumblefoot.com, to check out my music, my guitar workshops, my touring, even check out some of the hot sauces that I'm working on. And make sure you keep on listening, because with Spaced Out Radio, you know Little Brother is watching.
We're adding to the entertainment online for Spaced Out Radio. I'm Amber Beckrud, and I want to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out Cryptid Tales, where I will take you on a journey into some of the strangest legends and lore from around the world, relaying the stories to you of the strange creatures and experiences that people have had throughout time. You can find Cryptid Tales at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. And while you're there, don't forget to check out our free archives and leave a comment. See you there.
Hey everybody, the SOR Space Travelers is open. For just $5 a month, you can hang out with Dave and our crew privately in our members-only section. With your signing, you'll receive newsletters on what's going on with Spaced Out Radio. You'll have direct contact with the host during the show in our chat, live streaming videos, and a great forum for your posts and more. Become a space traveler now at spacedoutradio.com.
Looking for something new to push your limits? Look Beyond the Spectrum, a new docuseries featuring some of the best researchers in the world when it comes to everything from UFOs, government cover-ups, and strange humanoids. Truth seekers Stephen Bassett, Jeff Meldrum, Jack Kasher, and Stanton Friedman, among others, all chip in to bring their knowledge to you. Beyond the Spectrum can be found on Amazon as well as Tubi TV. Tell us what you think on our Amazon page.
Are you looking for great advertising value for your company? Look no further than Spaced Out Radio. We have a multitude of places to get your name out there, including commercial ads during the show, special promotions and banners on our website. Our audience is proven to support the companies that support our show. We can make your budget work for you. So for more information, please contact us at sales@spacedoutradio.com.
At spacedoutradio.com, we are keeping you up to date on all the news with the SOR Newswire. Captain Shirk leads the team that is bringing you the news of the day and exclusive stories on everything paranormal and supernatural. It's free to read, it's updated daily, and it's right there for you. The SOR Newswire is a one-stop shop for the news of the day. Check it out at spacedoutradio.com today.
Hello everyone, this is Ryan Stacy from the Experiencer Support Association, otherwise known as TESSA. We're glad to team up with Spaced Out Radio to help investigate your experiences on the SOR Sightlines Report. Together, we'll investigate the strange sightings and occurrences you've had. We're looking for answers just like you. So fill out a Sightlines report on the Spaced Out Radio website and let's figure out what's going on together.
Need that weekend supernatural fix? Look no further than Spaced Out Saturday right here at spacedoutradio.com. I'm Stacey Edwards.
And I'm John Edwards. Each Saturday night, Stacey and I are going to bring you the best in paranormal, cryptids, UFOs, you name it, and we're going there.
It's all about the experience and to share the knowledge with all of you.
So tune us in every Saturday night on Spaced Out Saturdays, starting at 9:06 p.m. Pacific, 12:06 a.m. Eastern, only at spacedoutradio.com.
Hello, space travelers. It's me again, Carl. Don't forget to join the Space Travelers Club for just $5 a month and follow Spaced Out Radio on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio. Our Instagram, Dave Scott SOR. Our Facebook page is Spaced Out Radio Show. Our archives are free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Come woo it up with Spaced Out Radio today. Bye!
I'm feeling a little spicy tonight. What to do?
Why not get Bumblefuck?
4 million Scoville units of pure hard rock. Bumblefoot hot sauces come in 3 flavors. The burning Bumble. Tone it down a bit with Bumblicious and throw the sauce on everything.
Spice it up. Bumble me, baby. Bumblefoot hot sauce. Get it today at kajans.com.
And we are back at Spaced Out Sunday. And Dina, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Oh,
you're
boy.
Wonderful host.
Oh, well, thanks so much. Go. I tell you what, you're a wonderful guest. And we are on a roll here tonight, talking about all sorts of interesting things from World War II to Afghanistan already. I love it. Oh, my. Well, we are going to talk to next, I think, about, well, I always like to ask my guests who are multiple authors like yourself and written quite a few genres, subject matter in the genre that you do. What do you have like a favorite subject matter that you really like to delve into? Or is it something that you just... once you're into it, and it doesn't really matter that you've done some other stuff in the past. What do you really like to write on?
Well, like you, I love paranormal. I find it fascinating. I love history, huge history buff, and I love science fiction. Those are my 3 passions. I hate romance novels. No offense to anybody who loves romance novels, but those just don't do it for me. And I, of course, love nonfiction, and I love biographies on famous people.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it sounds to me you excel in that regard with the in-depth knowledge that you have on at least some of the subjects we've been talking about already. It's fun for me. I think a lot of people like biographies, but it's fun for me to read those biographies to get a real up-close personal view of what these famous people throughout history were really like. You know, I've often wondered what Benjamin Franklin was really like, you know?
Oh. I bet you he was fun to party with.
Oh, you gotta believe that. This guy, oh my, on both sides of the Atlantic also as well. Yeah. Oh, that's fascinating stuff. So your young adult novels, by the way, you say you're not necessarily into romance, but do you kind of get to that area in some of those books, or is this mostly skirting the romantic era of those conspiracy theories, or what?
Well, I most of my novels have a romance in them, but it's more of a side story than the main story. And I like to, when I read, I like to fiction. I like to see people who like each other end up together, kind of a thing. People with, that's always fun. But no, it's by no means the dominating part of the book.
Yeah. Well, do you ever use yourself and your husband as role models in your characters when you're putting together a storyline?
Oh, sure. I mean, sure. Things that we've done or we've said might end up in there. Same with other people too. I never have done anything disparaging towards people I know. It's always positive things, and the rest is fiction. But if I have any friends listening, it's nothing negative. It's always the positive stuff.
Would any of your friends or colleagues recognize themselves in your novels?
I do like to choose names of people that I know, not last names, first names.
Yeah.
So yes, they know their name is used for a character. So that's always fun.
Oh, that is fun. I've done the same thing with some family members in my lineage, down the history as well. Just first names, just because some of the names that I have, even in my family members, just elicit a certain character anyway. Those names do. So you kind of build upon that as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, gosh, that interesting part about Afghanistan and what's going on down there is very appealing to me, given the fact that I've heard of the artifacts that have gone missing during when we invaded the area. From what I hear, I don't know if you've heard this as well, one of the first stops along the way when they got control of the area was the antiquities departments of certain museums there.
Oh yeah, that's a great. That's interesting how you bring that up. My last book, Crowns and Cabals, kind of picks up on all of that, especially in Iraq with Saddam Hussein. He had all those artifacts he had them stored in the Bank of Iraq in the basement. I don't know if you remember that whole entire thing. And the museum was robbed, and it was almost like an inside job because our soldiers supposedly let the robbers go in and take everything, and then a lot of that stuff ended up in the basement of the Baghdad Central Bank. Of course, that's just one of the many Middle Eastern artifact stories. There's ISIS, to me, is probably one of the most interesting because they supposedly destroy museums.
Yeah.
Now, do they destroy it? Who is stupid enough to destroy, $200 million worth of stuff? I can't believe that they're really destroying it. I think they're selling it on the black market to finance their cause, or they're keeping it for some purpose or what. But I don't believe they destroyed that. It just would be just too stupid.
Yeah, you would think, like, always hear the stories of the burning of the library at Alexandria. Oh my, what a waste that would have been. What were the motivations for that? And indeed, whether that was maybe a cover up as well. And maybe there still are some of these records, in the foot of the Sphinx or whatever, wherever they are, I really think that there is lots of information that has been found that is being sequestered from us. What's your opinion in that regard?
Oh, absolutely. We were talking about Hitler a few minutes ago. He most famously is the last one to have the Spear of Destiny. I mean, what happened to it after that, and why did all these great leaders want that so badly? I mean, Charlemagne had it. A couple other great leaders had it, and then Hitler broke into. I think it was the Museum of Austria. That was one of his first finds that he had to steal. So.
Now let's be clear for folks who might not know what the Spear of Destiny is. Is that not the spear that supposedly the Roman centurion used to cut Christ's stomach on the cross?
Absolutely, yes.
And then water comes out of the body of Jesus at the time. Of course, then they pronounced him dead. And that's the spear that you're talking about.
Absolutely. So that would mean that Jesus's DNA is on that spear.
Oh.
Which, as a sci-fi writer, we supposedly didn't know about DNA till the 50s, but Hitler's scientists knew about it before then, and a lot of scientists knew about it before then, but weren't public about it till the 1950s. So why would he be so interested in Jesus's DNA? Because that's basically what makes it so valuable. I'm a Christian, so the thought of all of this cloning and all of this other genetic therapy, all this other stuff is weird to me. It makes me uncomfortable, but it would be nice if that was recovered.
Boy, that's very interesting because I think some probably, even people in the church, would assume that the spear would have some kind of supernatural properties in itself. Yeah. Not the fact that there is scientific evidence along with that spear as well to prove one way or another whether Jesus was God, was God man, or at all. And of course, then you've got all of those conspiracy theories of Jesus's spouse, basically, Mary Magdalene, fleeing to France and all that kind of stuff with potential children. So, wow. All that, I love those Dan Brown books, by the way. Not necessarily because of the history that they have, but just the themes, the ideas that seem to pull a lot of interesting truths together into a novel format for sure.
He's excellent. Yeah, he's definitely one of the best. He has a great mystery for you with lots of clues that have a historical basis. He is. I agree with you. He's always burned through those books real fast.
And they're so thick. I love them. You can normally spend a good, wonderful portion of your existence just kind of immersing yourself into those books, and they're so well written. It's almost as if you could pick up in the middle of any of those books anytime you wanted to, but you always want to start from the beginning and read all the way to the end.
Yeah, I find myself while I'm reading, I take a break and go on Google and look up what he's talking about. I do that a lot.
Oh, I'll bet from a novelist like yourself, that would be really a good thing to do. I do that myself periodically when I'm really into something. And I even do that on Netflix when I see a good film that I like, or even a science fiction thing. I go, now, wait a minute, is there any truth to this theory out there? Or how did they get those, information to write the script to begin with? I always think it's fun to research the backstory of stuff.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Oh, my. Okay, so basically the whole idea of conspiracy theories is something that has captured your imagination. What do you think, by the way? I know that you've got the New World Order in the back of your mind. The whole idea that we're dealing with it in our face right now, in reality, every day on the mainstream news. What is your feeling about what's happening and what we got to look forward to or not look forward to as this thing seems to be clamping in around us?
Well, the whole thing is truly making me sick to my stomach, because it was one of those conspiracy theories that I hoped to God was not true. But each passing day, there's another something on the news, something going on that just enforces the notion that this is real. This is really happening. I guess, right now, let me give you a quick example of censorship.
Yeah.
Right now, I think this country, I know Scotland just announced that they're banning censorship, which, Europe's, we copy a lot off of Europe. Well, they're censored now. And let me just give you a personal example that happened to my husband today in censorship. So he really was looking forward to this hockey, the baseball, the basketball, the football, all of the sports that were coming on, and he's very upset about the kneeling. He has tremendous respect for the military, and when they play that Star Spangled Banner song, unless you can't stand, you should be standing, and that is his opinion, which he's more than entitled to. And, other people are entitled to theirs. He's entitled to his. So he was watching the Hawks yesterday, Chicago Blackhawks, and I can't remember the details, but somebody who wasn't even on the team, he wasn't on the Hawks, he wasn't on the other team, I don't know. He somehow got involved and was kneeling for some patriotic Star Spangled Banner part. And my husband got so mad about it that this was allowed. He turned the game off. So he went on Facebook to the Blackhawk fan page and wrote all this on how he would really like to see them take a stand. Like, if America's good enough to make millions of dollars, and then maybe you should stand for the banner, right? So he got blasted by, I don't know, however many hundreds of people go on that thing, but as a racist. They all called him a racist. And then he checked some of the accounts out of these people who were calling that, and they look like phony Facebook accounts. There was like a person, like a person's picture, but no posts. You ever see like a phony Facebook account?
You got it.
So what's going on here? If we're not beating to a certain drum, somebody controlling the strings, Zuckerberg, is going to attack you. That's just one, not very harmful example. But, earlier in the week, what was it? Donald Trump Jr. was touting hydroxychloroquine.
Yeah.
And if you get COVID, it's between you and your doctor. The end. And he got locked out of his Twitter account. Now this is our health we're talking about. This isn't even politics. This is our health.
Right.
So,
did you happen to see the congressional hearings with Zuckerberg and
yeah.
Google and the rest of the gang? Oh, those were just telling, weren't they?
Oh, I didn't even know that they were pulling all that stuff, especially Google with China and
yeah,
that's treason. But did anything happen to Google? No.
Right. Yeah, and the whole idea that if anybody comes up with anything contrary to what the CDC was putting out,
yeah,
or the WHO, that they would just automatically pull it down, whether it was based on science or not. I mean, that is amazing that they can do that and get away with it. And of course, you heard a lot of the congressmen and committee members mentioning the whole idea of monopoly over and over and over again. But of course, those are the folks that allowed this to happen to begin with. So you wonder if they're ever going to do anything about it.
Right. And their pockets, all of them, both the Republicans and the Democrats, their pockets are stuffed with campaign money from all four of those men who were sitting up at that podium. I mean, that's the joke of it. They have campaign money from them guys, and they're sitting there acting like they represent us.
Yeah, and they want to look good, in their questioning. Matter of fact, it's hilarious to me how those folks in Washington, D.C. are using technology, the Zoom, broadcasts and those kind of things. They all walk over one another. They all interrupt one another. They just basically make themselves look very foolish, in the technology that they're using. So it's fascinating to me that they think that they're being very up to date on this stuff, but they're like using it badly.
Yes, they are. So yeah, the Google, of course, Facebook, Twitter should have been up there personally, but they weren't. Apple and what was the other one? I'm already.
Amazon. No, I think it was Amazon.
They
yeah.
That Amazon. I mean. Think about it. They control the publishing world right now. Every author.
Oh yeah.
Amazon. I mean, they control everything. They Amazon Web Services. So they've now branched out into managing everybody's web, and the security of it. They own Whole Foods. They own the grocery. They have a finger in every single pie that you could imagine. They have transportation with their own trucks. It just goes on and on with them. And I don't know. The guy made $13 billion in one day profit. How can they not be broken up?
And here's the deal. I just thought this was amazing when this came out. When they start competing with their own third-party vendors, to draw the price down, and then force them to buy a lot more advertising before they back off on their undercutting on their prices. Oh my, that's ridiculous. Amazing.
Yeah, it's getting really bad. We've got and what those four want published out there for you to hear, that's what we're stuck with. We're if you don't think like they think, which of course is to their advantage in wealth, then you will be silenced, and that's where we are right now.
You got it. And in reality, there's nobody that's interested enough at this point, as far as I can see, in ending that. They're only interested in perpetrating it for the future. I can't believe it, But, we could very easily fix the problem, but no one wants to do that. Listen, we're at the top of the hour again. We've only got one more hour to go. This is a fascinating show. And we're going to take a 6-minute break and be right back. How about that? Okay, here we go. We'll be right back on Spaced Out Sunday in just a moment.
Hey, space travelers. This is John Resig, founder of the Chive and Chive Charities. If you know anything about our website, you know we like to do things a little differently. We're not some faceless organization collecting money for a nebulous cause. Our donor dollars go directly toward life-improving items. Then we give those items directly to an underdog who needs it most. To become a donor with Spaced Out Radio's official charity, Chive Charities, just go to chivecharities.org/donate.
Are you an experiencer of something strange that can't be explained? Do you want help finding out what's going on? I'm Ryan Stacy, head of the Experiencer Support Association, otherwise known as TESSA. We've teamed up with Spaced Out Radio to investigate cases filled out in the SOR Sightlines report. We are independent and there's no cost to what we do. All we need is your experience. Let's find out what's happening together on the SOR Sightlines report.
We are scouring the world for the most intriguing stories of your day. Take the time to read up on the SOR Newswire, where our team, led by Captain Shirk, will deliver to you some of the best paranormal and supernatural news, along with some stories that will blow your mind from the weird to the wacky. It's the news outside the news that piques interest, and that's what we're looking to deliver to you. The SOR Newswire, only at spacedoutradio.com.
Hi there, this is Dave Scott, and I'm bringing you the Woo every Monday through Friday on Spaced Out Radio. I'm going all out to bring you the strangest, oddest stories and subjects I could find for your entertainment. Why? Because when we hit peak Woo, I know I've done my job. So come tune us in at spacedoutradio.com, 9:06 Pacific, 12:06 a.m. Eastern, and together, my friends, we own the night.
The SOR Vault is open for business, and do we have some cool swag for you to pick up? All you have to do is head over to our website and click on the SOR Vault. You have a variety of cool logos to choose from, and put them on anything you want. T-shirts, hoodies, hats, coffee mugs, you name it, we can get it to you. So do your shopping by supporting the store you love. Get your Spaced Out Radio swag at the SOR Vault today.
If you like it hot, real hot, then heat up your meals with Bumblefoot hot sauce.
Get your Bumblefoot hot sauce today. The sauce, Bumblicious, and the 4 million Scoville unit Bumble. We're going in hot, real hot, coming out even hotter.
Keep the milk nearby and tantalize your taste buds tonight.
Bumblefoot hot sauce, available now at kajans.com.
Hello, space travelers. It's me again, Carl. Don't forget to join the Space Travelers Club for just $5 a month and follow Spaced Out Radio on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio. Our Instagram, Dave Scott SOR. Our Facebook page is Spaced Out Radio Show. Our archives are free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Come woo it up with Spaced Out Radio today. Bye!
We all know on Spaced Out Radio we love a good beard and mustache, so why not take care of your facial hair with Mighty Moose Beard Oil? Made in Canada, we're taking care of beards and stashes around the world. We use 100% natural ingredients with our oils and balms to make your whiskers feel silky smooth. Use promo code SOR2019 at MightyMooseBeard.com today.
Looking for creative ways to get your company out in the public? How about advertising on Spaced Out Radio? Our sales department is waiting to hear from you, and we can work around any budget. From commercial spots to banners to special promotions, there are many opportunities to get your name and product out to our SOR listeners. For a price guide and more information, please contact us at sales@spacedoutradio.com.
Get your horns up with me on Spaced Out Radio. This is Ron Bumblefoot Thal. Come tune in to SOR where you can hear me rock out with Little Brother is Watching, the official theme song of Spaced Out Radio. And then come on over to bumblefoot.com where you can find out about my tour schedule, my music, and everything else. Bumblefoot.com keeps you up to date on what I'm doing and the best way to stay in touch with my music and music camps. Sign up for my newsletter at bumblefoot.com and remember, Little Brother is Watching.
Hi, this is Amber Beckrud, and I want to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel where we store all of the SOR show archives for free. And as an added bonus, every 2 weeks I'm posting brand new content on Cryptid Tales, where I will get into some of the spookier legends and folklore from around the world and tell the stories that go with them. Find us at youtube.com/spacedoutradio and check out Cryptid Tales today. Drop a comment and let me know what you want to hear. See you there.
For the price of 1 cup of coffee a month, you can become an SOR Space Traveler. The Space Travelers Club is a place where you can interact with other listeners, either live during the show or on our great forum. We want your stories, pictures, comments, and ideas. You'll get live video streams, exclusive content, and be a part of our newsletter. Stay in touch with everything SOR. The Space Travelers Club is just $5 a month at spacedoutradio.com.
Hey everyone, I'm John Edwards.
And I'm Stacey Edwards. Together we're taking over Saturday nights on Spaced Out Radio, where we're going to bring our own experiences of the paranormal and talk to the best people we can find to help bring you answers to your strange tales.
We're here to entertain your need for weekend woo! So tune us in at spacedoutradio.com starting at 9:06 Pacific, 12:06 a.m. Eastern, where we can all get a little spooky together.
Spaced Out Saturday nights right here at spacedoutradio.com.
Well, welcome back to the third and final hour of Spaced Out Sunday. I am your host, Michael W. Hall. Thanks for being with us. We welcome you back, everyone listening in on our terrestrial affiliates, WQEE 99.1 and FM in Noonan, Georgia. And we are also on UPRN 107.7 FM in New Orleans. On the digital side, we're on Revolution Radio, and don't forget, you can always check out our archives at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Do us all a favor and hit that subscribe button. Our website is spacedoutradio.com, where we have a plethora of features for you, including rocking out to some Bumblefoot and shopping at our Spaced Out Radio store and catching up on all the news from the SOR Newswire and so much more. And oh boy, are we back again here with one last hour of Dina Rae. Dina, are you back?
I'm here.
Oh, I tell you what, I'm on a roll here with you tonight. I seem to have found a kindred spirit as far as the paranormal goes and all these conspiracies. So thank you for being such a great guest.
Thanks for being a great host.
You're welcome. You know, I've been remiss, actually, during the Peter Davenport segment right up front. I always like to ask my guests on the show, have you ever seen a UFO yourself? Anything unique or weird, even a cryptid or a ghost? Or have you had a paranormal experience?
Well, I have never seen a UFO, but I have had some very weird paranormal experiences. I guess most recently, my German Shepherd died a few years ago, and he would, in the middle of the night, and this wasn't a normal thing for him to do, but right before he died, he, in the middle of the night, would wander into the dining room and start howling at the chandelier.
Oh, my.
The chandelier in our dining room is my husband's dead mother's chandelier.
Okay.
So I don't know if that has anything to do with it.
Yeah.
He was howling at this for a couple of days, and then he turned on the bath. He jumped his front paws into the bathtub and turned on the bath. And I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning with him halfway in the tub running.
You're kidding me. You're a German Shepherd in the tub? Halfway in the tub?
This never happened before. Yeah, it happened right after this howling at the chandelier.
Yeah.
And then he died. So I don't know.
Wow. I mean, how long after the bathtub incident did he die?
Couple days.
Boy, that is weird, isn't it? Was he ill? Was he elderly and about ready to die, or did you have any clue?
He wasn't ill, but he was old.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, let me ask a few follow-up questions. I mean, this opens up a whole interesting storyline. Did your did your husband's mother know the dog?
No, I never got to meet her. She died before I met my husband.
Okay.
But the dates, one of the dates this happened was her birthday.
Oh my. Somehow you draw some significance with the mother and the chandelier and the dog doing something that he had never done before, huh?
Yeah, I'm not. It was very weird and eerie, and it caused the hair on my arms and my neck to stand up, and I don't think it was random.
Yeah. What was your husband's feeling about that?
He seemed to think that the dog was communicating with his mother.
Yeah. And you had, this dog sounds like it's been in your family for quite a while. So the dog didn't know the mother, but literally you basically knew this was behavior that was very strange, it sounds like.
Yeah, it was too strange for the dog.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. You don't happen to have any, well, you do have cats, don't you?
No, I'm not a cat person.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering if any cats made any, you know how cats are supposedly pretty aware of spirits as well sometimes. Yeah. Oh, what a story that is. That's unique. What do you make of the whole idea of the bathtub incident?
I don't know. Is that symbolic with the afterlife? I don't know. It was just weird. I woke up and there he is, half in the tub with the water running. I don't know what that meant.
He wasn't drowning in the tub then, right?
Nope. If you could just picture a dog two front paws in the tub, two back paws on the floor.
Oh.
And the water running.
Oh, that's wild. And there's no way that anybody else could have made the water start running, obviously. So it was the dog that supposedly turned the water on.
Well, that's my only conclusion.
Yeah. But obviously you caught it in time before it overflowed, or it wasn't flowing fast enough to overflow.
There was no plug in it, so it was just draining.
Oh my.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he didn't turn it on. Maybe he was trying to stop something. I have no idea. The whole thing was so beyond.
Yeah.
But it felt like we were opened into some kind of chasm. You know, that kind of, we're getting a glimpse of something we're not supposed to be getting a glimpse of through the dog.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Just in one sense, the sense of smell. Supposedly dogs have a sense of smell 1,000,000 times more sensitive than ours. Just in one sense. So you never know what other senses they're dealing with as well out there. Oh, wow. I've never heard a story like that. That's very good. Oh my. I mean, it's not like you would make a story like that up, right? I mean, if you're going to make a story, you're going to make it like a little bit different than probably a dog, in and out of the bathtub, turning on the water. Oh, that's interesting. Did your husband happen to have any significance with his mother in bathtubs or water, or did she like to take baths, for instance?
He didn't mention anything. I don't.
Okay.
I've never heard. I don't think so.
Yeah. Well, what about your husband? Has he spoken to you about any paranormal experiences that he has had? Because he sounds like he's interested in these same subjects.
Not so much. My oldest daughter has had a couple of, when she was little, she had a couple of weird moments that scared me.
Oh, really? Is this something you can share? Or?
Yeah, I could share. I don't think she'll get mad at me, but when she was 2 and my other daughter was a newborn, we lived in a 2-story house, and she was telling me that Mr. Jenkins, you know how kids talk, you could barely understand them, but from what I gathered, she said Mr. Jenkins, something about Mr. Jenkins. So I was just kind of ignoring her about it, and I was downstairs, and then I went upstairs with her, and she took my hand and dragged me into her bedroom and was talking about Mr. Jenkins and how he has glasses like me. So I still wasn't really getting what she was talking about. And then I heard a noise in my newborn's room, and my newborn was on the first floor in a playpen. So I went into my newborn's room, and this wind-up swing was swinging for no reason.
Oh, my.
I grabbed...
That the baby was not in the wind-up swing, but it was just...
She's on the first floor in a playpen, sleeping.
Okay. But the swing was in the same room as the playpen?
Nope.
Oh.
Nope. She was on in the living room, in the playpen, sleeping, and the swing was in her bedroom, which was upstairs.
Okay. I think I'm getting it right. So your older daughter, at 2 years old, was pulling you into the room where the swing was swinging and saying, yeah. Mr. Jenkins. I see. Now it makes sense. Oh, that's wild.
So I grabbed the 2 kids, and at that time we had 2 dogs, and booked out of the house and went to the park for the whole afternoon until my husband came home.
Yeah.
We had the house, and that was that.
And she was old enough to verbalize what you took as saying Mr. Jenkins. That's interesting. When she got older, did she say anything about this same person at all?
No. It was a one-shot deal, and it was the same kind of feeling I had with the dog doing the weird stuff. Just...
Yeah.
Something ain't right. Something is, I'm not in, I'm in some kind of parallel universe or something I'm not supposed to be in. That's just, something is off.
And these incidents happen in the same house or different house?
No, different houses.
Okay.
But the chandelier was in the old house too. We brought it with us to our new house because it was my husband's mother's.
I see. Yeah. Oh my.
Furniture.
Yeah. And this is, was the chandelier basically over like a kitchen table? I mean, a dining room table is where you have it, or did you have it in the foyer of the hall, or?
Dining room table.
Dining room table, yeah, okay. Gosh, that is fascinating stuff. And your children are older now, obviously. Have they had any follow-up experiences that give you any pause to wonder what's going on in their lives?
No, everything's been pretty quiet lately, so that's good.
Yeah. That's good. By the way, where you're living now in Texas there, is that the same location where the chandelier is now as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you still have potentials for the future. You never know on what's going on there. Holy mackerel.
Yeah, the chandelier is kind of weird.
Well, you wonder about those kinds of things. And obviously there's all sorts of theories, I suppose, you could have with cut glass like that, or any kind of, reflection of light and all that kind of stuff that you just never know. I often wonder if objects can imbue themselves with energy from living people, and bring it with them as you move the objects as well.
Yeah, that and I know that chandelier, but the reason we have it is it's real pretty, of course, but it was about the only thing my mother-in-law, who I never met, spent a lot of money on. It was just kind of her one treat to herself her whole life. So it had sentimental value to my husband.
Yes, that would. When someone puts a lot of value into an object, and obviously there was some personal sacrifice that went into purchasing it, that kind of thing, and some being proud of it, that kind of thing. Wow, that's very fascinating. Almost reminds me of the crystals from Jor-El, Superman's father and mother, and the information that was placed in that, in the Fortress of Solitude. Oh, I grew up on those comic books.
Oh yeah, kryptonite.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. Oh, fascinating stuff. Now, are you currently working on a new novel? Are you taking a rest at this point? What's your literary career bringing for the future for you?
I'm kind of getting some things together for another big pharma, big agra, big conspiracy book, because right now it's kind of hard to talk about healthcare because we don't know who's going to get elected yet. So I couldn't really put it together until I had someone's plan to go over. And
got it. Yeah. To kind of base your research on.
Right. And right now we're having Trump's having dust-ups with Big Pharma. So, I don't know where this is going. And I do agree with him. Why is it, 10 times cheaper in Spain, the same drug, than it is here, and so forth. And
yeah.
I would like to see them be a little bit more fair and equitable. Just because someone can pay it doesn't mean you should charge it. And I think we're getting screwed.
Well, and indeed, when we're talking about the whole politics of Monsanto and Big Pharma and all that kind of, you're talking the biggest windmills in the world to go up against, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just huge. The clout that is there, you would almost even believe at some point that it's bigger than any one country or president of the United States.
Oh yeah, they should have been on that panel along with Facebook, right?
Oh man, wouldn't that? Yeah, no, you're right. You're talking the heavyweight pillars of the Illuminati, or whatever you want to call them, running the planet. That literally probably chuckle in the background when they see like small fry, like Amazon and Facebook, being fried in front of the Congress.
Right. Right, because the reality is you can't eat Facebook, you can't, eat Apple. Our food is everything, and now our drugs are too. They're life-saving. So
yeah. Yeah, and what's up with this when they arrest people for planting seeds that are not GMO or sustainable, that kind of stuff. I mean, gosh, it's just crazy. Matter of fact, I have a real fun story I'll tell you real quickly. I'm out here in the Washington State, and we've got some pretty nice farmland out here where they grow some really beautiful corn, acres and acres, thousands of acres of corn on the cob, that kind of thing. And I remember going through the farmland one time and pulling off the side of the road thinking, I'm going to buy some good old-fashioned corn off the cob, for very inexpensive from a local farm, I pull up there and get out of my car, and literally there's like a hippie-looking guy at the local corn stand, right out in front of his ranch. And I pull up and I say, wow, your corn looks great and stuff. I can't wait to taste it. And this guy, he reminded me of Tommy Chong, that kind of character, right?
Oh, yeah.
He says, man, you don't want this corn. This is GMO. I go, oh, my Lord. I'm sitting there in the middle of the country thinking I'm going to buy some really great, organic corn. And he said, no, man, this is our GMO. You got to go to Whole Foods down to the next town, buy it from there. That's what he said. Hilarious. Yeah, so it's fascinating to me how things are, it's like Hunter S. Thompson used to say, when the weasels come knocking on the door, things are kind of like getting tighter and tighter around us every day almost as we see it in the news.
Right. I couldn't agree more. And this whole GMO thing, I mean, you look at the autism rates have, gone from 1 in 50,000, and then 1990 we started using GMO seeds all the time, and now it's 1 in 50, and
yeah,
we need vaccinations for. We used to get 5 or 6 vaccinations. Now some babies are getting 30, and we've got kids. All these kids have asthma. I never seen anything like it. How does half a classroom full of kids have asthma and nut allergies? Which are GMO nuts?
Yeah,
it's like, is this a good thing? I mean, I guess you could argue, well, you could grow more food and feed more people with it, but they're making us sick. It's making us sick. Yeah.
Well, and not only that, but it's the distribution process that's been the problem. Not that we, I remember in the 70s, everybody's saying that the silos are overflowing with grain, and people are starving in third world countries. So that's the real problem here. It's political will and and control, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's a bargaining chip.
Oh man, and at one point, Dina, I believe that there is, and I know that they've probably done the algorithms on how far they can push the general public. But at one point, I'm wondering if that tipping point happens where the blowback is going to be too much. And finally, things are going to happen where people are going to wake up and realize that this stuff is going on in multiple fronts around us. If the public ever does wake up, it could be quite interesting.
Well, since I've been a conspiracy theorist, I've really been keeping an eye on the UN, which a lot of people are not keeping an eye on the UN, sad to say. And they've had these Agenda 21, Agenda 2030, Vision 2050. They've had all of these plans in place to turn us basically into a one world government. And when we've got these politicians like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, for example, spouting off her environmental plan as if she is so original. It's like this is part of the UN agenda. Did you just copy and paste that on your website? We are totally blind to what's going on. We are forming a one world government as we speak right now, and we're too busy fighting over this, fighting over that, yelling and screaming at each other, all this other stuff, and everybody's getting their ducks in the row. And I don't know what to say. It's like, come on.
Yeah, and not only that, they have a concerted effort to get rid of most of us anyway, so that we're going to be a lot more manageable.
Absolutely. If you're not useful, then you need to go. Like Hitler's dress rehearsal in World War II. You're not useful. You're gassed. It's going to happen to us.
Oh man, yeah. Let alone, and they've got various ways of doing it. That's the scary part as well. With like you said, on multiple fronts here, we're being bombarded. Psychologically, spiritually, and biologically as well. So,
pandemically.
Pandemically, very good verb. I like that. Yeah, you're right. The whole idea that it does reflect to me, and I've always been amazed. The Bible, I think, being one of the most paranormal books ever written. That the Bible really comes up with some historical plans that seem to be fulfilling themselves right before our very eyes. You can change words and places and names and all that kind of stuff, but the whole thing seems to be happening very, very quickly in what, of course, the Bible calls the end times. And I don't know. It's kind of scary.
Yeah. Amen, Michael. I echo exactly what you say. I'm a bit, like I said before, I'm a Christian, and I also especially enjoy reading the prophecies in the Bible. I find the doomsday stuff and the prophecies very intriguing, and what is happening now, they're talking in some places people have microchips in their hands to like Sweden has some company or something that they take their hand and they swipe and they get in the door and they can pay at the cafeteria with this chip, and they can do this and they can do that, and they get their paycheck on their chip and blah blah blah, and they're all happy about it. They're like, do you not understand what the mark of the beast is?
Oh my, we have got some great stuff to talk about at the next and final half hour of the show. But Dina, hang on, we'll be right back on Spaced Out Sunday. This is great.
Need that weekend's supernatural fix? Look no further than Spaced Out Saturday right here at spacedoutradio.com. I'm Stacey Edwards.
And I'm John Edwards. Each Saturday night, Stacey and I are going to bring you the best in paranormal, cryptids, UFOs, you name it, and we're going there.
It's all about the experience and to share the knowledge with all of you.
So tune us in every Saturday night on Spaced Out Saturdays, starting at 9:06 p.m. Pacific, 12:06 a.m. Eastern, only at spacedoutradio.com.
I'm feeling a little spicy tonight. What to do?
Why not get Bumblefuck?
4 million Scoville units of pure hard rock. Bumblefoot hot sauces come in 3 flavors. The burning Bumble. Tone it down a bit with Bumblicious and throw the sauce on everything.
Spice it up. Bumble me, baby. Bumblefoot hot sauce. Get it today at kajans.com.
Are you looking for great advertising value for your company? Look no further than Spaced Out Radio. We have a multitude of places to get your name out there, including commercial ads during the show, special promotions, and banners on our website. Our audience is proven to support the companies that support our show. We can make your budget work for you. So for more information, please contact us at sales@spacedoutradio.com.
Hey everybody, the SOR Space Travelers is open. For just $5 a month, you can hang out with Dave and our crew privately in our members-only section. With your signing, you'll receive newsletters on what's going on with Spaced Out Radio. You'll have direct contact with the host during the show in our chat, live streaming videos, and a great forum for your posts and more. Become a space traveler now at spacedoutradio.com.
You wanted new SOR gear, and now you can have it. The SOR Vault is fully stocked with t-shirts, hats, hoodies, mugs, and everything in between, with great logos for you to choose from. So head on over to spacedoutradio.com, click on the SOR Vault, and go shopping. Pricing is quite affordable, and you can look good representing your favorite show. So go to our website and pick up your new SOR wear at the SOR Vault today.
Are you addicted to the woo? Good. Me too. This is Dave Scott, and you can woo it up with me every Monday through Friday, starting at 9:06 Pacific, 12:06 a.m. Eastern, for 3 hours of great entertainment in the subjects you love. UFOs, ghosts, cryptids, intuition. Yes, we hit it all 5 days a week. Look for us at spacedoutradio.com, where together, my friends, we own the night.
At spacedoutradio.com, we are keeping you up to date on all the news with the SOR Newswire. Captain Shirk leads the team that is bringing you the news of the day and exclusive stories on everything paranormal and supernatural. It's free to read, it's updated daily, and it's right there for you. The SOR Newswire is a one-stop shop for the news of the day. Check it out at spacedoutradio.com today.
Hello everyone, this is Ryan Stacy from the Experiencer Support Association, otherwise known as TESSA. We're glad to team up with Spaced Out Radio to help investigate your experiences on the SOR Sightlines Report. Together, we'll investigate the strange sightings and occurrences you've had. We're looking for answers just like you. So fill out a Sightlines Report on the Spaced Out Radio website and let's figure out what's going on together.
Hey Spaced Out Radio fans, it's John Resig, founder of the Chive and Chive Charities. Our goal is to make the life of veterans, first responders, and those with rare medical conditions 10% happier. We do this by donating one grant item, ranging from dance to therapy programs to prosthetic limbs, to those who need it most. To contribute to Spaced Out Radio's official charity, head over to chivecharities.org and become a donor today.
Hello, this is your guitar man, Ron Bumblefoot Thal, and I have to tell you, I love the response I get for Little Brother is Watching from Spaced Out Radio fans. It's amazing how music can inspire and make people think deeper about what's going on in the supernatural world. You can head over to my website, bumblefoot.com, to check out my music, my guitar workshops, my touring, even check out some of the hot sauces that I'm working on. And make sure you keep on listening, because with Spaced Out Radio, you know Little Brother is watching.
From the heartlands of Canada to beards around the world, we know how to take care of you. Fill your follicles with the Mighty Moose Beard Oil. All our oils and balms are handmade and 100% natural ingredients because we care about your beard. And hey, use the promo code SOR2019 and get your Mighty Moose Beard Oil today. You can check us out on our website, mightymoosebeard.com.
We're adding to the entertainment online for Spaced Out Radio. I'm Amber Beckrud, and I want to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out Cryptid Tales, where I will take you on a journey into some of the strangest legends and lore from around the world, relaying the stories to you of the strange creatures and experiences that people have had throughout time. You can find Cryptid Tales at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. And while you're there, don't forget to check out our free archives and leave a comment. See you there.
And we are back for the last half hour's Spaced Out Sunday. Boy, are we having fun with Dina Rae. We are now getting into the apocalypse, I think, as far as the biblical truths that seem to be unfolding right before our very eyes. You know, Dina, I've always been fascinating. It's fascinating to me that the Bible itself, many of the books, of course, you know, written 2,000 years ago, and then, of course, some of them saying that even the Sumerian civilization 6,000 years ago were some of the inspiration for some of the stories in the Bible. That how accurate they seem to be with these predictions and prophecy. I don't know if you find that as well.
Oh, absolutely. They, I mean, just with the coming of Christ, they, you know, got every single detail of that right. And those were written, you know, 500 or 600 years before Jesus was even born. And now you're talking about the apocalypse, Revelation, and Daniel, especially. Boy, oh boy.
Yeah. And in reality, the you know, John on the island of Patmos, you know, sitting there, and all of a sudden, out of his body, he's coming up with these revelations that I don't know if they would have made any sense to him at the time. You know, that kind of thing. But somehow were written down and just seem to be, you know, unfolding before us right and left with all the various, you know, countries of the world and the problems that we're dealing with, just kind of just rolling out in front of us. And you wonder if it is all going to accumulate and culminate in the way that the Bible says it is. Or if, by the way, you would think that maybe even the Illuminati or the powers that be out there are trying to hijack potentially the outcome as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just today on the news, out by you actually, I want to say in Portland, Oregon.
Yeah.
They had the rioters had a protest, a book burning party, burning Bibles.
Yeah.
You know.
Wow. What kind of statement does that make? You know, it's like, oh, gee. Yeah.
Obviously, you know, I don't know what that was about. There's something I would love to. Can I put it on your Facebook page real quick?
Sure.
This is, I'm going to put it on your Facebook page because this is one thing that just, it bothers me to no end. This was a parade in Switzerland that all of the top heads of state, Angela Merkel, the guy before Boris in England, I can't think of his name.
Yeah. Tony Blair, maybe?
Maybe Tony Blair, I can't remember. Hollande in France, and then the other guy was there too. I think they both were there. I mean, everybody who's everybody was at this parade, and they made this wonderful engineering feat where they can put a train through a mountain now that saves all kinds of time for travelers in Europe. And they invited everybody to see this new tunnel, and they had a parade. Do you know what I'm talking about by chance?
You know, this is the first time I've heard of this, so I'm very interested in what you're saying. Go ahead.
I'm looking on your page right now. I'm trying to. Here, I'll just send it to you.
You know, it might not work because I'm live streaming on that page, so you never know. You might have to describe it.
Well, I'm going to tell you as best that I can.
Okay.
They had for entertainment, they had this huge parade that was given to I don't know, a couple hundred people, everybody who's everybody. You know, the guy of the IMF fund is there. I mean, everybody.
Wow.
Is anybody. And to give you a visual of what this parade was, a bunch of everyday people are in kind of like jumpsuits, like they're either slaves or they're in jail.
Oh.
I don't know if that's supposed to represent us. There was another exhibit in this parade where you had people wearing like nude, they weren't nude, but they were wearing like a body sock. I don't know what they're called.
Yeah.
That was in flesh tones, so it would appear that they were nude, and they were on a like a platform mimicking like they were having a group orgy.
Oh my!
They had another exhibit of an angel, black angel, dressed in black with black feathered wings, that was falling from kind of like a trapeze type of thing. They had, do you know who? Well, you're paranormal expert. You know who Baphomet is, the goat.
Of course.
Goat?
Yeah.
He was in it.
Oh man.
He was in it doing a spiritual dance. I sent you the link.
It's kind of like the opposite to the Rose Parade on New Year's Day. Holy mackerel!
Now, keep in mind, the audience they're celebrating how they put a hole through a mountain for a train, right?
Oh my!
What does any of this have to do with that? I don't know. And everybody in Europe showed up for this event. So this was in 2016. I mean, to me, that was in your face. New World Order has happened in your face. The devil is getting ready, and in your face. We don't have to be secretive about it. We don't have to be secretive. You're talking about with the aliens. Same thing with the aliens. They don't have to.
Yeah.
They're going to show themselves pretty soon, so the government's going to have to come clean. If you watch this video, it kind of reinforces everything. I mean, when I saw it, I was speechless. Like, I can't believe they are so out in the open now.
Right. Oh, it's just bold in your face. I mean, you watch the Super Bowl halftime. Oh my, there you go. There's an example right there. You know. That's
rated Disney G compared to this.
Oh no. Oh, I can imagine. Now you're telling me that this happened in 2016, but was it just recently released? Is that how you're bringing it up, or?
It was released in 2016. I found out about it maybe 6 months later, because it was not. Now, to me, again, we were talking earlier.
Yeah.
Wouldn't something like this be the headline of every news channel? Nope. I had to find it from a link of a link of a link on a radio show such as yours to even know about it. And then after some research about it, yeah, it's true. It's not a fake. It's not a phony. It's true.
Whoa. Yeah.
So I just, it just sadly just reinforces what we've all suspected all along. And, you've got that. You've got how we might be turning socialist. We've got this whole, this we're almost $30 trillion in debt. I mean, that's been the number that they've been so scared about for years, how that's a national security threat at that number. And so many things. I'm wondering if we're going to be a country pretty soon. We're going to be a region of the world.
Oh, yeah. Maybe even a third world region. Who knows, Oh, my. I mean, you're talking, China and those kinds of things with technology that, might be outstripping us, let alone the fact that they seem to be able to control their population, a lot better than we are. That's for sure.
Right. And I'm with this coronavirus, how convenient that we're all getting really tech savvy with the Zoom and the WebEx and, working out of our house, this, that, and that. It makes you think, well, is this going to be tomorrow's world? Is this what we're left with? Is that our product now? Technology. We'll forget about everything else. Are we going to be drones working on computer programs from now on?
Yeah. What I see happening also is that the powers that be, whoever they are, seem to be almost panicking for some reason. There's no good explanation to me of why these things are happening so fast and furious at this point. You would think that these kinds of things normally would take decades to roll out. In reality, they're doing this on a month by month, week by week basis currently, and you wonder what's happening, what's coming down the road,
Well, what I've been blogging about lately is this whole cashless society that everybody's starting to wonder about. The stores don't have any cash. You have to charge everything now. I mean, what?
Yeah.
What's up with? Is that on purpose? Because that's part of New World Order, having a one world currency. You can't have New World Order without that. So is this what's around the pike? Are we getting prepped for that right now?
Oh, I would think so. I mean, that's, when debit cards, became, popular, that's basically what they're talking about. And the whole idea that, people used to give like a discount for cash.
Yeah.
Now they're penalizing you for cash,
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Let alone, the whole idea of the Fed and all that kind of stuff, doing what they're doing in the background. It seems to be driving the economy, down completely where, we're going to be, can you imagine your local Bank of America not being open? Right? Have you ever noticed that?
Well, a couple years ago, there was that, mini run on Wells Fargo because they supposedly had that computer glitch. I don't know if you remember that.
Right. Yeah.
Was that a glitch or was that something else going on?
Well, I remember the conspiracy theory that it was going to happen on a Friday afternoon. And there was going to be a note at the bank that there was a computer glitch that they had to work on over the weekend, right? And then, of course, they would be back up and running again on Monday. And all of a sudden, nobody'd be accessing their funds, out of the banks. But in reality, I go downtown to my small little branch of Bank of America. The thing is closed for no explanation. There's a little sign on that says sorry for the inconvenience, and there's no warning or any kind of prediction of when they're going to be back open. So you got to go to another branch, in a local city next door, to try to find. You can go to supposedly a cash machine, but you can, of course, are only limited on how much you can take out of your cash machine every day. There you go.
Right. Very fishy.
Oh, it's weird. I can't imagine. This is not just some local savings and loan, like It's a Wonderful Life, where the local guy is in trouble, No way. This is not George Bailey. This is the Bank of America. Holy mackerel. Oh.
Yeah, they're one of the biggest change we got. If they're closed and out of money, then how's everybody else doing?
Oh, gee. Yeah, it's weird. And, then you got some banks that will allow you to go in with masks, and you have to have social distance and all that stuff. But the other branches are closed. I'm going, what's up with that? I mean, can't these guys follow the same rules, in the town next door or whatever? But no. Anyway, holy mackerel. Dina, we have done the gamut tonight. This has been a fantastic show, and I want to make sure that people can find your novels out there. So you might want to give them some info and, maybe your website, how they can find your books and those kinds of things before we get off here.
Okay, well, thank you again for having me. My newest book, Crowns and Cabals, is on sale right now for 99 cents on Amazon. So please download a copy.
What a bargain! That's great.
My books are spread all over the place, but one place they all are at. As I was complaining earlier about Amazon, they're all on Amazon. Some are at Walmart, some are at Books A Million, some are at Barnes and Noble. But you want to find every single one of them. Amazon.com, and my name is Dina Rae. I have an author page. They're all on the author page. You can read all about each one, and if you're interested. I also have a website called conspiracycrackpot.com. All of my books and everything, the radio shows that I've been on, my blogs, everything's on that website. I have a blog called conspiracycrackpot.home.blog. That's you can also find on my website. That it's just a separate address, but it's also connected to my website. Facebook, my fan page is Dina Rae Books. Goodreads, you can see, I think I've gotten around 300-400 reviews. I have a 4.2 average, something like that.
Oh, that's awesome.
So please, check me out on Goodreads. Again, Dina Rae, Dinarae. I'm on Pinterest. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. My Twitter handle is @HaloofTheDamned, which is the name of one of my books. And, I'm pretty easy to find on the internet. I am all over the place. And if you can remember conspiracycrackpot.com, you'll have links to everything.
Oh, that's wonderful. And by the way, the link for our interview today will literally be up immediately on Facebook at Michael W. Hall, but it will also be on Spreaker on Spaced Out Sunday as well. So people can make a link there, or you can link that to your blogs as well, so people can listen to your shows and your interview tonight.
Awesome.
All right, Dina Rae, it's been a real pleasure. We're going to have to do this again at one point, and as things start unfolding, you and I will be talking further, I'm sure.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's been a true pleasure.
Thank you, Dina. You have a wonderful week coming up, and we'll be talking again soon, I'm sure. Bye now.
Bye,
There once was a man who had some land in eastern Washington. And on his land, this man, he had a deep, dark hole or pond. People came from miles around to throw their trash down in to see how deep the hole was and listen for its end. Then one day, that fateful day, they forced Mel off his land. They paid him off and sent him off down under with a plan. They hid Mel's hole and covered it up so ne'er it could be found, so no one would ever know what's deep down in Mel's ground. Yippee-yi-yay, yippee-yi-oh, there's no bottom to if you chance to find yourself in Eastern Washington. Well, I want to remind you folks that Mr. Ron Bumblefoot Thal is the official music of Spaced Out Radio, rocking us in and out of every single show. You can find out more information and music at bumblefoot.com. And a special thanks to everyone listening in at home and in your cars, at work, in the chat rooms tonight, and wherever you are around the world. Remember, this show is currently copyrighted by Spaced Out Radio and SOR Media Ventures Limited. Thanks for sharing your evening with us. My friends, tonight we own the night. We will see you next Sunday.